The moon, Earth's natural satellite, a beautiful presence in our night sky, serving as visual framework for the tracking of seasons and months of the year, and driving our ocean tides. Its direct connection with us is cosmic, often spiritual, disrupting sleep cycles, inspiring rituals and ceremonies in honor of this mysterious celestial body, all while mankind continues to reach for it. Following the 1969 Apollo mission, which successfully landed man on the moon, 5 missions to its surface followed. But why haven't we been back? Have we been told all there is to know about what was discovered? Or, like the far side of the moon, have we been kept in the dark? This is Fright Life, a paranormal podcast, and on this episode, we will discuss, is something else on the moon?
Hey, welcome to Fright Life. We're your hosts, Joss and Monique.
Hello.
And on this episode, we're discussing, is there someone else on the moon?
Yeah, so this is an interesting conspiracy theory that branches off of a few little factoids and has recently regained some steam. And so we're going to give it a little look here.
I feel like this is one of the kooky, UFO guy theories that I've kind of had in my orbit the longest. I remember talking about there being structures on the moon with my friends at recess in 5th grade.
Ooh.
Probably an Art Bell thing that I heard.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then, from there it spiraled into, well, what I heard was this, based in no facts whatsoever. But it's always been the moon's full, you look at the moon and you're like, okay, but really?
Yeah.
What's going on up there?
Right. And I also subscribe to this general idea. And it's really funny because people are like, okay, wait, so you believe we went to the moon, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't believe the moon landing was fake. But there are definitely aliens up there. So, big sigh of relief from whoever is listening to me. Okay, she's normal.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but, and then I destroy it all.
And you get the
Yeah, what? All right. Or the slow, back away.
Yeah.
I'm going to go look
time
over here now.
Get the laundry.
So, no, basically, this all started back before we even got to the moon.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Before there were even plans drawn up for how we're going to get up there, they had started planning on how to build something up there for humans to exist in.
And by they, you mean?
I mean, NASA, I guess. But
no, actually, well, the U.S. government.
Okay.
Right? And probably the Soviet Union at the time as well.
Yeah.
But it started with the U.S. Army with Project Horizon in 1959. And so this was a Army proposal and an outline on how and why to build a military installation base on the moon. And this is actual, backed up by more recently declassified documents. So Project Horizon was between 1957 and 1959, and it outlined this whole plan. Get up there to the moon, put our stuff on it, make it a strategic military outpost. Makes sense, right?
Totally.
And
that
then,
tracks.
Right? And then 1961, only a couple of years later, JFK announced we're going to put a man on the moon by the end of the decade.
No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever. Totally casual.
It's just in the spirit of exploration.
Yeah,
like you said.
we're gonna low key put a man on the moon.
Yeah.
By 1969. So in 68, Apollo 8 was the first U.S. manned mission to orbit the moon. And in 1969, Apollo 11 successfully lands 3 men. I thought you were going to interject there. Lands 3 men on the moon, followed by Apollo 12 and Apollo 14.
Okay, but now I'm curious. Were you expecting like a joke or a?
Well, I said successfully lands 3 men on the moon, and
Oh,
just more to that.
Right.
You're being on the fence about
Okay.
if we went.
No, after the last episode, I'm pretty well convinced.
Okay.
Like, we went there,
Okay.
but now there's new things to like be stoked about. So,
Totally.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of the last episode, definitely go check it out and be sure to like and subscribe our new YouTube channel and check out all of our episodes we're putting out. And we're happy to have you watching and thankful.
Yeah, that was smooth. Good job.
We're forgetting to do it
It's like,
at the top of the show.
statistics say that it works. So, I don't know.
50% of the time it works every time. Okay.
Correct. Somebody's subscribing right now, as we're saying.
Because of the Anchorman reference, or?
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
They're like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
I like these guys.
All right, so let's get back into this timeline. So we've got the successful missions to the moon in 69, and 71, Apollo 15 takes the first lunar roving vehicle to the moon, leaves it there.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just chilling. And in 1972, Apollo 17 is the final mission to the moon.
but why?
But why? That's a good question. So we had this whole plan. The Army was like, here's a gigantic report and proposal and layout of how and why we should man the moon.
Yeah.
And put a base up there.
Let's get up there.
And then within that 10-year span, the U.S. government successfully did put man on the moon several times. So why did we stop when it looked like we were getting to that goal, right? We were meeting some milestones that were pretty important to reaching the goal of militarizing the moon. And why, especially considering that the Soviet Union was pretty much neck and neck with us at the time during this whole space race.
Yeah.
Why are we the only ones to this day? The United States is the only country who has ever put man on the moon.
Yeah, that's like a actually super good question because, like you said, we were neck and neck trying to get up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had like motivation to do it. They wanted to go to the moon.
Right.
Just because the U.S. made it there and like grabbed some rocks and then went home.
Everyone else just stopped.
Yeah. That seems so weird.
Yeah. I do know that in 1967 there was like a space treaty, which sounds so cool. But it's basically like a treaty to not put any weapons of mass destruction on the moon.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has anything to do with why other nations didn't attempt.
They're just like, wait, you mean to tell me
No, I mean
that I can't put nukes on the moon? Then forget it. I'm not going.
No, I mean, like, if there's other verbiage in there about, like, America got there first.
What am I going to do with all my moon nukes now?
Fuck off.
I have 13 moon nukes and nowhere to put them.
Because of this treaty?
Yeah.
I think if you're going to put nukes places, like, you're not really going to follow the space treaty of 1967 anyway. That's like super villain type stuff for sure.
Right. They were so shiny though. They have to be shiny if they're going to the moon.
Right.
Of like the
that's how you know.
Retro futuristic look of the 1960s.
All right.
Anyway.
All right. Back to the topic at hand.
I feel like we solved that as to why they didn't go back.
There's nowhere to put their nukes.
Yeah. So
they weren't allowed to take them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're like, fine.
I don't know. Home. It's still weird to me.
It is so weird.
And then we, the U.S., also didn't return.
Yeah.
these questions spark that different conspiracy theory. Not the common, we faked the moon landing, but we went to the moon and someone or something else was already there.
Yeah.
And possibly told us, don't come back. Like, get out of here.
That would explain a lot, really.
Right? So this theory makes some bold claims, including that there are ancient structures and monoliths on the surface of the moon, possibly extraterrestrial civilizations, and a secret human presence, possibly ancient.
Whoa.
Yeah. There are also claims that the moon is hollow and artificial.
And full of jelly beans.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one.
You haven't heard that one?
No.
I saw it on Facebook, so it's probably true.
It's where we get all our facts.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We do research
Okay.
thoroughly. Now,
So these theories came from somewhere, right? That
Yes.
It's not just like people making stuff up on Facebook.
I mean, some of it is probably
Sure.
just people making stuff up on Facebook and other places. And the claims have been given new life recently with this government UFO file release and like TikTok and News Nation.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's on like mainstream news now, these questions of extraterrestrial life and UAP and all of that. But also this file release taking place coincidentally around the same time, like pretty much at the same time as the Artemis II launch, which is
Yeah.
the first moon mission since 1972.
Convenient.
Just kind of
What?
weird.
What piqued their interest?
Like we're getting back to the moon
Yeah.
and also releasing UFO files at the same time.
Yeah. And we'll get into it later, but some of those files are specifically to do with the moon.
Right. So I don't know. More recently, theoretical physicist,
Theoretical physicist? Like he's...
or like a doctor of theoretical physics.
Okay. So not he's just like, theoretically,
He's a
I'm a physicist.
That might be. No, I'm going to start introducing myself that way now. No, Dr. Max Derek Shawnee
Okay.
went on Ross Coulthard's show
Okay.
on News Nation. And he was talking about some lunar anomalies that he has studied and claiming that there are non-natural structures and monoliths on the moon.
Which is interesting because this is not a new theory.
Right. That is what's most interesting about it to me as someone who researches this and looks to past events more often than current events,
Right.
you know? It's being presented as like these new ideas. And he talks about like looking at NASA's data to configure and find out like where these things are and which items don't look like natural structures and why. But yeah, like you said, this isn't new information.
Yeah.
Now, of course, NASA claims that they have fully mapped the surface of the moon and they do not have any evidence. It actually says they're unaware of any evidence of monoliths.
I just don't trust them, man.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that, I found it interesting that Derek Shawnee mentioned that he has not received any feedback from his colleagues in mainstream physics, but he takes that as a positive because he hasn't received any negative feedback from them.
Okay. Well,
So
I mean, in the scientific community, everybody's so focused on their own like specific niche that they're looking into. You know, I suppose it's one of those like no feedback is good feedback kind of
yeah,
situations.
that is how he was taking it for sure. But
I mean, the other thing about scientists is they just love to prove a point, you know? So if there was someone who had contrary information, they'd be like, well, actually, you know,
was that you're being a scientist? Okay.
and they would lay out all the points as to why this guy's full of it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm on board with that. of like
taking that as a positive.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, like we mentioned, this is not the first time this is being brought up. And actually, there was a book that came out in 1976 by author George H. Leonard titled There's Somebody Else on the Moon. And this book goes over the same type of claims, including extraterrestrial alien civilizations possibly living underground on the moon and running like giant machinery on the moon's surface.
Yeah, I feel like there's something about like a mining operation going on. Like they're gathering and processing resources that are, part of the moon's surface or just under the surface. So I don't know how legit, but
yeah, we'll talk about that.
I go down all kinds of weird rabbit holes about this stuff where it's like, here's a blurry picture that's like a little thing with a little thing sticking out of it. And it's like blurry. And it's like, could this, and then they draw over it, in like Microsoft Paint. They're like, if you look at it this way, this could be a tower and a processing unit.
Oh, I see it now.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's what that is.
But while that started off super rocky and I was not following you whatsoever, I do understand what you're saying now. And something like that we've talked about before, pareidolia.
Yeah.
Where your brain recognizes patterns and puts them together and makes pictures. And that may be what is happening here because George H. Leonard claims that he came to these conclusions. I mean, I don't know about the underground civilizations and the mining operation, but the monoliths and the non-organic structures on the moon by looking at NASA's photographs, like NASA's own imaging of the moon back then in the 70s.
Yeah.
Which is how Derek Shawnee was saying he's viewing that today, but with more modern data. And he even watched it through telescopes over time. Like, his book is very boring.
It's data heavy.
It's data, well, not even necessarily data heavy. I guess he's presenting it that way. But yeah, it's very much like, and on crater number 573, but they're all named.
Yeah.
There is this tall structure of shadows at this degree. So yeah, I guess data heavy, but
it's cool because what he is doing is like looking at the picture and studying the shadow and then like using math to like turn it into
to measure the height of these structures.
Right.
And also he claims that he's watching these structures, or some of them, move over time.
Okay.
Which would not be happening if they were just misinterpreted natural structures.
Whoa.
They wouldn't be migrating.
Right.
But also, would giant machinery?
I mean, why not?
I mean, if they're like big drilling operations, they could move to different locations.
Absolutely fictional, but in Dune, they talk about, because they're mining the spice from the planet, and they have these huge roving mining facilities, basically.
When did Dune come out? Because now
70s, I think.
Now I feel like this guy just copied Dune. I don't know.
Let me find out.
And it is important to point out that this author later disavowed his work on this book.
His own work?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I obviously found that out after I read the whole thing.
You could have started with that. Dune came out in 65.
See? So. I don't know, dude. Just sounds like he took that seriously.
He wrote that whole book and then was like, nah.
Well, he also has like science fiction books. So
I sound crazy in this book.
Okay. Let's move on to something that we have studied a little more and do believe in.
Yeah.
And that is Project Pegasus and Ingo Swann.
Yeah.
Now, Ingo Swann is a character who has also made some bold claims, also around the 70s. But he has claims that he was able to be like tested on. Now, we do have an episode on Project Pegasus, so definitely go find that one in our little archives
That's from the Before Times.
Yeah, the audio only podcast. But check it out. It is super interesting, and it is about remote viewing. And this is something that is also backed up by declassified documents. The CIA was studying remote viewing.
Yep.
Now, this is like a psi ability. It is a psi ability to like tap in to whatever kind of third eye mind situation we have, because our brains are amazing.
Yeah.
And even though it's not yet, like it's still pseudoscience, it's definitely just science that has not been fully accepted yet by mainstream science. This has been tested so much, and so much money has been put into this by not only our government, but other governments.
Yeah.
And utilizing things like psychic spies is a real backed up thing.
And what's really cool is one of the theories that he was studying is that literally anybody can do this.
Yeah.
And they would have, they would
train,
do experiments where they'd be like, okay, hey, random dude off the street, we have some pizza and beer and $20. Like, come back to our facility and let us see if we can train you to remote view.
Whoa.
And like, people would come and like,
you're just making up this entire scenario.
I'm not. This is part of the whole thing.
They just gave them pizza?
Okay, I'm making up the pizza and beer thing. Okay,
you're right.
But they would like literally get random test subjects that had no prior experience of psychic ability.
Yes.
Bring them in and be like, okay, here are the exercises. Now tell us what you see in the next room.
Right.
And they would be able to lock in.
Sometimes. It's akin to like musical talent.
Sure.
Anyone can train on a musical instrument or to sing, but there are people who seem to have like a special ability.
Yeah, totally.
And kind of that extra je ne sais quoi when doing that. Like music by ear, or the ability to sight read with 5 seconds of looking into this rather than years of studying music theory. So it's sort of like that. Like, some people are better equipped to be really good at remote viewing, but sort of anyone can train to do it.
Yeah.
Is the theory.
That was his point.
Yeah.
So
now, what's interesting is Ingo Swann was tapped by some random group to meet at the Smithsonian, I think, or a museum. Oh, I think maybe the Museum of Natural History in New York.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
And he was taken to this third location and blindfolded and all of that on his way there. Now, he was already involved in this sort of CIA type situation, so he wasn't really afraid of what was going on. He knew it was something like this.
Yeah.
And they asked him to remote view certain coordinates because they would be given a certain amount of information to point them in the right direction, remote viewing wise, but not give away or lead to accidentally give information.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of a false positive situation. Now, this led him to what he first thought was the moon, and then he second guessed himself. So he's in a dark room. They're telling him some coordinates, some random things that he's supposed to pick up on psychically, okay? And he's not psychic like psychic hotline, but psi ability-wise. And he is picking up what he first thinks is the moon, and then he second guesses himself because he sees giant structures.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, wait, I thought this was the moon, but now I'm getting conflicting information. So he was taking what he thought was possible or impossible and letting that actually cloud the data he was getting.
Yeah, he wasn't trusting it because it didn't seem like it was possible.
Right, it didn't match up with what he knew of the moon.
Yeah.
And the guy who was running the experiment was like, no, keep going. And Ingo Swann claims that he shut himself in a dark room for days after this because it really cracked his psyche to realize he just saw something that he didn't think existed.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you can shake a guy like Ingo Swann, who was into psychedelic art, and he was already a remote viewer
Yeah.
with the CIA using his psi abilities.
He's like already part of the paranormal,
Yeah.
experience, I
Right.
guess. And like, if you're somebody who believes in ghosts and UFOs and all this stuff, like you wouldn't be rattled by learning new information like that.
Right.
But still.
Yeah, he was rattled.
Yeah.
So he saw structures on the moon in the 70s.
Interesting.
And I trust it.
Yeah.
That one I trust. I don't know about the George H. Leonard.
Well,
I definitely know.
now I don't trust anything that guy says.
Yeah. But definitely check into that more if you're interested in going off down that rabbit hole. But it's just a small thing that also backs up what's being talked about today with these structures. And people are seeing it with their eyes. They're looking at the NASA imagery and data. And Ingo Swann saw it with his psi remote viewing ability.
Yeah.
So that's super interesting to me.
That's so interesting. And NASA's like, nope, there's no structures on the moon. We've seen it.
Right.
We've seen the moon.
Now, this all could sound crazy, depending on who you are, because you'd think NASA would know.
They do know.
If someone else was on the moon or had seen something.
They absolutely know. And they're just like, there's nobody on the moon. We're not going back, though.
For no reason whatsoever. Now, former Department of Defense officer and current UFO disclosure activist, Lou Elizondo, has also been speaking of structures on the moon. And recently we attended a lecture of his with special guest Mike Gold, who was a former NASA Associate Administrator and NASA UAP study team member.
Yeah. Shout out to Jake for hooking us up with tickets to see that.
That was great, and thank you, Jake. Now, to my surprise, because we didn't know who was going to be the special guest that night.
Yeah.
And we were already researching some episodes around NASA and the Apollo missions. Now, the two spoke on several interesting things, including the UFO file release, and how those files included Apollo and other NASA mission files.
Yeah.
In the UAP UFO file release. Now, these are things that we have always had, like, earmarked in research.
Yeah.
And people have, like, tried to debunk and said, this is not real. This is misinterpreted information.
And by people, NASA.
Yeah, right. So what are the implications of that being included in the official U.S. government UFO file release?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, really, this event that we went to with Lou Elizondo was like the first time where I was like, what the hell, NASA? Like,
yeah.
I'm getting rid of all my NASA t-shirts. I don't trust you. Like,
whoa,
you're hiding stuff. And why wouldn't they hide it? You know what I mean? Like, it just is so.
Yeah.
I'm upset about it.
Okay. So that was actually something I clocked right away, remember, with the file release.
Yeah.
Like the very first video we made the day the first file release came out,
Yep.
I was like, there are NASA files in here.
Yeah.
And what? Because NASA has, in the past couple of years, testified before Congress, and they were like, we went over all our stuff, and we don't have any indication that UAP are a thing.
Yeah, and they really do have such a long history of just vaguely explaining what a thing is and then just like dismissing it.
Right. So now I don't know about the structures and the monoliths and all of that. I know what people are saying. I know that there's a longer history around that. It's not new information. Right. But I do know about some NASA missions that mention some shenanigans on or around the moon.
Yeah.
Let's get into those, shall we? It's February 1965. Friendship 7 is piloted by John Glenn, the first man to orbit the Earth. Now, he reports to Mission Control that he's observing brilliantly lit objects flying around the capsule.
Yeah, he describes them as looking like fireflies.
Right. Now, the theory is that these are particles of ice. And I want you guys to remember that because this explanation is the space version of a weather balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Because NASA tries to tell these heavily trained astronauts that they're looking at ice. And there's a second one we'll get to that they just use the explanation over and over again. And we're supposed to believe it.
Well, what's almost comical about this explanation is that at the time, when John Glenn is explaining this incredible thing that he's witnessing outside the window of his spaceship.
Yes.
It's a space. It's a ship. It's in space. It's a spaceship.
Okay.
There's no video feed. He's not like live streaming this to NASA.
Mm-hmm.
He's just explaining to them what he's seeing.
Right.
And like you were saying, this man is a trained observer. He's a freaking astronaut, like cream of the crop, you know, like they don't just send anybody up there.
Yeah.
NASA, they're not seeing what he's seeing. They're just like, could be ice.
Yeah.
Ice? Yeah.
Anyone?
Okay.
Right.
Ice. You're seeing ice.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Now, to play devil's advocate,
Don't.
let me.
Okay.
They are trained, but this is the first time any man has ever been where he was.
Totally.
So we don't know and didn't know at the time how things like ice appear or react in that environment.
Sure.
So that is where that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at what happens next.
Okay.
And the pattern that starts to take place. And then, like we already said, we did bury the lead on this one.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of these things are included in the UFO files.
Yeah.
So, obviously not solved or thrown in as some sort of muddying of the waters, which I also talked about when these came out. Now, this brings us to June 3rd, 1965, Gemini 4.
This is James McDivitt, right?
Yep, and Ed
cool.
White.
Yep.
They are on the first spacewalk. Okay? Now, the two report a craft near the capsule. NASA Control and NORAD report that no known craft is closer than 12,000 miles away.
That's all.
Yeah, just a short little 12,000 miles. So probably not seeing that.
Yeah.
The theory that they came up with is that this is a piece of the capsule, the boosters. Now, this is where that second explanation comes in. It's always ice or the boosters.
Yeah.
The rocket.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's really annoying because these astronauts know what the hell the boosters look like.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know about ice particles and what those glimmer like in space.
Sure.
But they know what their booster is, okay? And that's what's annoying, and that also starts the trend. So December 4th, 1965, we've got Gemini 7.
Wait. Hold on.
What?
My notes here mention that this is photographed. The object that they see is a
Oh, yeah, they're taking pictures.
cylindrical object with what looks like an arm or a protrusion.
On Gemini 4?
Uh-huh.
McDivitt's.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's pictures of this out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to find that.
And we'll put it up.
Yeah. And then, y'all can judge for yourself.
All right.
But what's really special about this case is the official final word on this is that it's unresolved.
Yeah.
They did not ever specifically stamp it with
This was the booster. Right.
They're like, could be. And even with photographic evidence,
Yeah.
they were still like, I don't know. Booster probably.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So December 4th, 1965, Gemini 7. Gorman and Lovell, their mission is, I think, to dock onto
Hey-o.
something else in space. So hours into their mission, they see an object reflect, and they refer to it as a bogey.
And he radios back to NASA, and he's like, hey, we got a bogey on our 3 o'clock. I don't know how that
You don't know how clocks work?
I mean, like in like the military, like NASA asks if it's a confirmed sighting.
They say, is it your booster or a real sighting?
Yeah.
Quote, a real sighting. Now, that is something I latched onto as strange language for an organization that would not believe in a, quote, real sighting.
Right.
So that to me is telling. And this is recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Their back and forth with mission control is recorded. He's like, we've got a bogey here. Now, what's interesting is they say it is a real sighting. The booster is also in sight. So they can't debunk this as the booster because those astronauts see the booster.
Yeah.
Same timesies. They know, they are accounting for that.
Is the bogey in the room with us now? Fucking yeah.
Yeah, right over there.
Right
and
there.
It's a UFO. I love that one.
That's really good.
Because like that, they're confirming that shit.
I also love that NASA's like, are you sure it's not the booster?
Or is it real?
Bro.
Are you telling me this is
the booster?
real? Or no, for sure. Okay. This brings us to September 1966, Gemini 11. Conrad and Gordon, their mission is to dock. So they're doing a lot of docking, or I was wrong about the last one.
Well, that's important maneuvers to get down.
Right.
Because when they get to Apollo 11, where they actually set down on the moon, part of that maneuver is the rocket separates, turns around, and then reconnects so that they can take it to the moon and like launch it appropriately.
Okay. So they're working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of steps before you just like put someone on the moon.
Turns out.
Got to get out there.
Complicated business.
Got to orbit. You got to.
Maybe that's why we haven't gone back.
Dock.
It's just like, you guys, it's a lot.
There's so many things.
Can we just like go up there and just hang out?
Okay, so back to Gemini 11. They complete the mission successfully, and the next day they're like heading back, and they report seeing a bright, strange-shaped object. They radio to mission control, and control says it's a Russian satellite 280 miles away. But the astronauts look into this and later learn that the nearest object was over 3,000 miles away. So there was like definitely a fib or a misinterpretation of data.
So are they saying then that the object that they were seeing was like just 200 miles away? Like it was that close?
No. So that's even a thing. Is it didn't the 280 mile away satellite, if that were even there, didn't even account for what was up close near their capsule.
Yeah.
And then they looked into it, probably because it was bugging the hell out of them.
Right.
And they were like, it was actually 3,000 miles away. This satellite, the known Russian satellite.
3,000 miles away is so far.
Yeah.
Like, think of just looking out the window and like how far you can actually see. You know
I have
what I mean?
no idea.
Like, I don't know, like 10 miles probably before it's just like.
You can see 10 miles
I don't know.
out the window? Oh,
I'm just
from
like,
a space capsule. Or like
I'm just
our
like
window.
thinking from home. Like if you're looking at, you can't see that far is what I'm saying. So like.
And you think 10 miles is not far?
That is far. So in comparison to NASA going, it's 3,000 miles away. That's probably just what you're seeing.
Right. So perspective.
Right.
It depends on what you're looking at and the size of that thing.
All right.
But probably not a 3,000 mile away Russian satellite.
Right.
Now remember, this is during the Cold War and the space race is actively happening. So there are possibilities that these are secret spy satellites that the astronauts are seeing.
Secret spy satellites are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, that's a good band name. Secret. No, it's too hard to say. Okay. The next one I have here is May 1969, Apollo 10.
Okay.
So we're getting closer to Apollo 11.
Yes.
Apollo 10, the crew is Thomas Stafford, John Young, and Gene Cernan.
Okay.
I think is how you say that. They did a loop around the moon.
Just a loop?
Little loop around.
Okay.
And while they were on the backside of the moon, they lost radio contact with NASA. Like you do.
Sure.
Standard. They expected it. What they didn't expect is that they picked up on their radio what they describe as high-pitched musical tones.
Stop. I haven't heard this one.
Yeah. So they describe it as a high-pitched whistling or space music.
Dude, high-pitched space music. I like that. I mean, I don't want to like listen to it. It's high-pitched, but like I like the idea of it.
I'm sure it's unnerving. So apparently it lasted for a while and freaked the crew out.
It lasted for, it's like in their data log. Duration, a while.
12:58. Music is still going. Tom is freaking out. He's just doing somersaults, just like
slowly
losing his mind. And of course, NASA later concluded that it was just radio interference between communication systems.
I mean, that is possible.
No.
Okay.
That's NASA. That's the audio version of ice crystals or whatever.
Sure. Okay, that is cool. I like that that's an audio thing.
Yeah.
That's the first one there is. Okay, and that brings us to July 1969.
The big
Apollo 11. Armstrong, Collins, Aldrin.
The other one.
Hey, he is important.
Yeah,
I just almost call, like, I just want to call him Buzz every time.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
But it's Buzz Aldrin, and he's a badass. Now, their mission, obviously, was to land and walk on the moon.
Moonwalk, if you will.
Okay. And they did this successfully, depending on who you ask. But there are a couple things that happen here. So the first thing is, and I talked about that in our moon landing conspiracy theories episode, is during the entry, alarms start to go off, and apparently they were being navigated into a boulder field. And Neil Armstrong had to take manual, like semi-manual control and land elsewhere. Now, some people speculate that it wasn't a boulder field, rather structures.
Yeah.
Like ET structures on the moon that he had to go around because he's like, what is this? We did not expect this to be here.
Yeah. This is a tall-ass boulder field.
Looks like a building.
It's probably ice crystals.
Now, that's not the only thing.
There was also an object that was spotted alongside their spacecraft on the way to the moon. And this was another instance of NASA just being like, oh, it's probably the booster.
Yeah. Now, remember, this is all like recorded, televised, and being broadcast.
Yep.
So they switch over from the public channel on their radio to a private one to talk about this. And Armstrong asks Mission Control if they know the location of the SIBV rocket, so their boosters, in relationship to the capsule. So he's implying that they've seen something outside the capsule.
Yeah.
And Armstrong is checking, like, I've already seen all these other reports where you're telling people it's the boosters. Do you know where that is in relationship to us?
Yeah.
Because I've definitely seen something. Now, he later admits that he switched over to the private thing and did not look into this further because he didn't want to start a UFO flap.
So here's what I extrapolate from that.
Okay.
Is we've seen previous missions where the astronauts are seeing stuff and NASA's like, no, bro. You didn't see it. You didn't see what you saw.
And if you did, it was ice.
Yeah.
Or the rocket.
So there's already this established history of our astronauts seeing unidentified objects in space, where they go, and being told that they didn't see what they saw.
Right.
So, flash back forward to 1969.
Hold on. Okay.
Back to the Future.
Sure.
And Buzz Aldrin is like, yo, Secret Channel,
Yeah.
can I say a thing about this thing that I'm seeing?
Yeah.
And then,
but that was Neil Armstrong.
Correct. That's what I said.
Okay.
And then we don't hear anything else about it.
Right.
Because probably NASA told him not to say anything.
Yeah, for sure.
So put that in your pocket for later, I guess.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And it keeps going. 1972, Apollo 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. Apollo 14 through 17 talk about more flashing lights.
Yeah.
That's a thing
Mm-hmm.
throughout. And they're still being told that they're ice particles, only now they're calling them transient lunar phenomenon, or TLP. They
See?
just named it,
Yeah.
you know. They're like, it's not weird anymore. It has a name.
It's got an acronym.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah. I mean, which it could be that it's just transient lunar phenomenon.
Good band name.
Transient. It's not. These are all terrible band names. You're
Depends
so
on what kind of
wrong.
music you're playing.
I mean,
It's like an MGMT kind of vibe. Transient lunar.
see?
Transient lunar phenomenon.
It's not good.
No, it's pretty bad.
Maybe an album name,
Yes.
because you'd say that less.
Jake, write that down.
He's recording all of this, in fact. Now,
We have it on tape. Okay, go.
okay, back to 1972, Apollo 17. They start talking about the Aristarchus Enigma, another name that is not good for a band. Now, this crew reports that the moon crater Aristarchus is noticeably more vibrant and well lit than the rest of the lunar surface upon their approach.
Yep.
It is like glowing. Now, what's weird is this is another like switch to a private channel. And there's like 89 seconds of interference while they're reporting this to mission control. Like radio interference.
That's suspicious.
Now, the theory or explanation about this shiny surface is that it is just shinier space dust. Or moon dust, I guess.
What?
Yeah. Also, it was night on the
On the
area
moon.
of the crater
Correct.
when they saw this. So
Yes.
the sun would not have been reflecting on anything.
Right. There are some interpretations that what they're seeing, it's not that the crater itself was illuminated, but it was that there was a light source within the crater that was illuminating. So it was like
Right.
brighter in the center.
Yeah.
So
So where did the light come from?
underground, probably.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Moving on. But what's really cool about this one is, again, the status of this claim or report is unresolved.
yeah.
Like they are still like,
They just call it the Aristarchus Enigma.
yeah,
They just put a name on it. They didn't solve it.
no. That's great.
Yeah, I love this one. Now, in 1973, Skylab astronauts, they're studying longer term effects on the human body in space. And so they're up there for months. And months into the mission, the pilot, Alan Beam, reports observing a red flashing light with like intervals of, 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, which is interesting. And this lasts for about 20 minutes. Now, there exists a series of photographs taken by Alan Beam showing this red object that is like a strange rod and amorphous shape.
Yeah.
Now, the theory or explanation that NASA has for this is that the photo is a lens flare type thing. Only, here's the rub for that, these astronauts saw it with their eyes.
Yeah.
Which is why they took the photos.
Correct.
So it's not something that's just lens flaring. And they're like, oh, whoa, look what we captured. We didn't even see that. And it's like, well, you didn't because it's a camera reaction or
Right.
something. They saw this. They witnessed it. They reported on it and took photographs.
Yeah. They weren't just shooting their camera into like the black of space.
Right.
So
definitely super cool. All of this stuff is documented.
yeah. I mean, that's what's really, really great about this is it's not just, some guy who was traveling down the highway in Arkansas. And he's like, I saw some lights in the sky. It's like,
Sure.
these are radio transmissions, conversations that are recorded between astronauts and NASA.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. It's believable. This stuff is real. This stuff is recorded.
It's so cool.
And the explanations are bogus.
Yeah.
Now, back to the less believable monoliths and structures. But, I'll keep an open mind.
Yeah, sure.
What's interesting about that is that these people claiming to see these things, they're using NASA's data also. So, you guys can go check it.
Yeah.
See what you think.
Right.
That's being deemed as, misinterpreting shapes and things like pareidolia, like I mentioned. But there are, hexagonal shapes. Some people are claiming, that doesn't exist in nature. But I've seen some pretty cool geometric shapes in nature.
Sure.
Look at what bees do. And, there's some cool stuff out there.
Yeah, but even if you're going that route, those shapes are created by, a being.
Yeah, right.
That was accidentally a pun. A being.
No. Bee.
A being.
Got it.
Cut that.
I think you should keep it in now.
The idea, though, is that there's a physical creature who's creating these hexagon shapes in nature.
Sure.
So it's not like a rock that just happened to grow that way,
Yeah.
or
Now, there are lava flows, ancient lava flows, ancient lava tubes, and craters on the moon. Some of these craters are created by volcanic activity. Some are created by outside sources like meteorites hitting the surface of the moon. I would think that would create some shapes.
Absolutely. I think and again, it's kind of that same thing that we were talking about in our previous episode where we don't really have a super high definition view of a 1 mile square of the moon to really get in there and figure out what these shapes could be.
Or do we?
Do we?
I don't know.
I don't think we do.
Maybe someday.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Well, we're going back.
We'll get really weird with it in a minute because there's all kinds of weird hyper, far-seeing telescopes that people have hooked their cameras up to and claim to have seen craft.
We'll get into it. Here it is.
Here
Now's
it is.
the time.
We're getting into it.
Okay.
Claim to see craft actually entering or exiting craters of the moon, which kind of goes hand in hand with that hollow moon theory.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, was created because NASA was studying the moon and the effects of meteors crashing into it, and even some purposely crashed NASA equipment was
they were just launching things at the moon?
No, it was kind of well, we're done with this in the orbit. Let's just let it crash into the moon. So they would then record the sounds that the moon made. And they would say, wow, it's ringing like a bell.
Yeah.
And why would it be so resonant if it's a rock?
Right. So that hollow moon theory is also not new.
No.
That's all over TikTok and all these new things again. But that happened in one of the earlier middle Apollo missions after Apollo 11.
Yeah.
I think the very next one. So.
Yeah, I think it was 14.
Oh, okay. So not the next one, but.
Right. I mean, but
in
right
that
up there.
small series.
Those are pretty close together, in the.
Between 69 and 72.
Mm-hmm.
So a while.
Yeah.
It's been around. Interesting.
I don't know what to make of that. The implications are if it's hollow, what does that mean? It's a base then?
Right.
That's freaking me out a little bit.
I don't think it's hollow. Or artificial. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just got a feeling. I connect to it cosmically. Witchy vibes.
Yeah, because maybe that's where humans came from.
Whoa.
Here's another wild one. There's a theory that the moon was towed here from Jupiter or Saturn, one of the two, as like an observation base.
Who towed it?
I don't know, the aliens.
Okay.
And, it was like a huge base that was towed into our orbit so they could keep watch of us.
Like in ancient times?
Yeah.
Like, because we have been around and the moon has been a big part.
Yeah, before maybe.
Even ancient civilizations here have worshipped the moon.
It goes like this. Aliens are like, hey, that blue planet is pretty cool. It's got some interesting shenanigans going on. Let's put a hybrid species there and see how they do. But we got to keep an eye on them. So we got to bring an observation deck with us.
And let's make it pretty so they're
into it, but not so interesting that they want to go there.
And if they end up here, we've just got to come up with some sort of thing to scare them off.
Or we'll just tell them.
This started off really freaking me out, and I was like, why are you going off on this tangent? But
I'm making a lot of sense right now, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Interesting and logical.
So there's kind of continuing on that timeline, like we said, if there are beings on the moon, there's a sort of like urban legend sort of conspiracy theory about some missing transmission time from the Apollo 11 landing.
Okay.
Where supposedly one of the astronauts says, yeah, there's structures or craft lining the cliff edge of this
where
crater.
did that come from? That's Buzz Aldrin.
Right.
Or people claim that Buzz Aldrin said this. And I used to think that was just common knowledge.
Yeah.
And then when I went to research for these episodes, I could not find these quotes or that Buzz Aldrin was being attributed to any kind of woo-woo ideas.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was my favorite one because I thought he was just kind of weird. And I was really excited about it.
Yeah.
But turns out, I still love him. He was misquoted a lot of the times over the years. And his quotes were taken out of context. He said something to like an 8-year-old girl on a TV show, like, if we went there, something, something, something.
Yeah.
And people interpreted that to mean they hadn't gone.
Right. If we were to go in the future, this is what we would do.
He meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But noting, like, seeing something or like they're watching us or they're, I think that's just circulating without any basis of fact.
It's sort of an urban legend kind of thing. But what's interesting is I also was trying to find, we spent a lot of time trying to figure, like,
and be like, where did
mystery.
we see this?
And there's nothing. There's no mention of it anywhere.
It's been scrubbed.
Really, like, it's an interesting thing because even when you're digging into stuff that is...
It's a Mandela effect.
Bro.
I swear it existed. Like, for decades, I've been like, Buzz Aldrin's my boy because he's a little bit quirky and he believes in aliens. And now we're on a timeline where Buzz Aldrin not only doesn't believe in aliens necessarily, that we can back up with any facts, but he is so adamant that he is a respectable astronaut which he is, but just like all business, all serious, that he punched a guy in the face about it.
Yeah, he did.
At like 79 years old.
Yeah. Just clock a guy.
Yeah. The guy was straight up asking for it.
For sure.
Yeah. He was badgering him and he called him a fraud and a liar.
Yeah.
And
That's
Aldrin did say, get away from me.
Yeah.
There was a warning before the crack in the jaw.
Respectable.
And the guy tried to sue him and the court threw it out. They're like, you will not sue this American hero.
Do you know who that is?
Instigated this fight.
Yeah.
If you start a fight with an astronaut, you're going to lose.
That's true.
For real. Now, I do absolutely love Buzz Aldrin. I cannot find anywhere that he said anything weird, except for on 30 Rock when he guest starred.
Yeah.
Anyway, during the episode, he says some quirky things. And he's sort of like...
And he's so funny in the show. It's great.
Yeah, it makes it
He
better.
really leans into it, which is, I love it. If you are listening to this and you also remember hearing something about Buzz Aldrin saying that there are beings up there and they're watching us, put it in the comments.
Yeah,
let us know.
Because we couldn't find it. So either it doesn't exist anymore or it was being blocked from our accessing it, which is also creepy.
And so flattering.
Yeah. Or like a third option that is like way more grounded and less fun.
We just made it up. Okay, real quick. I just wanted to talk about, because we had a recent UFO file release. We mentioned it a little bit earlier in the episode. There are 2 very specific files that include pictures from the NASA, like, redacted ass archives where they said, we don't have anything. So one of them is Apollo 17. This was the final moon mission.
So far. In the Apollo series, there is a photograph of 3 bright dots arranged in a triangular formation. Yeah.
This was captured during the mission, and there was no real like radio communication about this that we know of. I feel like this is another secret channel conversation that was had where they're like, yo, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, take a picture. And then they brought the pictures back and NASA was like, nope, it's a booster. It's
3 boosters in a triangle.
3 boosters
in a
and
trench coat.
Some ice flakes. The Pentagon studied this picture and they had no like determination of what it could be.
Hence, it's in the UFO files.
Right.
Yeah. And this is one that Mike Gold spoke about.
Correct.
At the Lou Elizondo event as well. No real answers, just basically like this is something. It was anomalous. It is unexplained.
Yep.
So it's UAP.
Totally. There's another one from Apollo 11. This is recently declassified information that was actually, Jake found this. It's a quote from Buzz Aldrin that had previously been like swept under the rug. One
of the quotes we were looking for a second ago?
No.
Okay.
According to this thing that was released, Aldrin described seeing a sizable object near the lunar surface. I mean, he didn't say he saw something on the surface of the moon.
Okay.
It was near the surface, which means that it is airborne.
Yeah. Something is in or around the moon.
Yes.
That is unexplained.
Correct.
That we have yet to figure out. That has been seen by NASA and our astronauts.
Yeah.
Time and again.
Correct.
And some people are claiming to have studied NASA data and found evidence of non-natural or extraterrestrial structures on the lunar surface.
Hell yeah.
We love just keeping these conversations going, asking the questions. It is interesting that we hadn't gone back to the moon since 1972, especially when we were on some trajectory to put a base there.
Yeah.
So one would wonder, like, was there already a base there? Why didn't we keep that going? And additionally, that whole coincidence of here are some UFO files that they're spoon feeding us as if to prepare us for something. And in that same like month, our first manned mission to the moon since the 70s.
So do with that information what you will.
Yeah. We hope you've had a frightful time with us here at Fright Life, a paranormal podcast.
Thanks so much for listening, you guys. We'll see you next time.